In this video, I'm going to be sharing with you my journey, my mistakes, and the actionable steps I'm going to be taking to make 2025 my best year yet. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Heidi. I run a small creative business called Endi Studios. Now, whether or not you are a small business owner yourself, you're an artist, or even just somebody who enjoys watching studio vlogs, this video is going to be for you. Now, I'm going to be sharing with you lessons that I learned in 2024, not so much to reflect on the past, so that we can get renewed focus and energy into the new year. I'm sure you're going to find something in this list that's going to resonate with you. So grab your planner, your favorite pen, and let's dive into this. 2024 was a really rough year. I made many mistakes and there was lots of lessons to be learned. These lessons are valuable as an entrepreneur. So I'm going to be taking them and I'm going to be transforming them into actionable steps that I can take to improve my business and that you can take and improve your business too. In 2024, I really struggled with overwhelm. I mean, you're doing the job of 5 or 6 different people as an entrepreneur. I mean, you could be doing anything from copywriting to bookkeeping, and it's within the same day, and you might not have those skills. So you have to learn those skills as you go, and it can just be overwhelming. And if you've ever run a small business, I'm sure you get it. I mean, you need to find a way to let yourself breathe and not work 24 hours a day. So I made the choice to try out ChatGPT last year. And to be honest, it accelerated my business in a way that I don't think I could have anticipated before I did it. I mean, I was able to feed it the information of my business and have it spit out an answer back at me that makes sense for what I'm doing and helps me find like the next steps I need in my business in order to grow. So it's really been an important part that I've picked up in the last year. I mean, I guess the lesson here is to try things you're uncomfortable with. So in 2025, my first resolution is about being more open to embracing technology. And this is going to be about trying different platforms, trying different methods, seeing what really works for my business. And I encourage you to do it too. I think it will be game changing for you. If you haven't done it, just dip your toe into the water and don't worry, I'm doing it right there with you. And if you find this video valuable, please like and subscribe to the channel and turn on your notifications so you can join me in my next video. On to resolution 2. So this one's for all my perfectionists out there. I hear you, I feel you, I'm one of you. And I just want to let you know that it's okay to have some perfectionist tendencies, but don't let it hold you back from social media. I mean, the pace at which it goes is just phenomenal. And by the time I've even thought of doing something, the trend is gone. And I just need to find a way to post something. The branding might not always be on point. There might be errors, but I really need to just focus on making sure that the posts are up because it's about building an audience. And to be honest, I really don't think the audience cares so much that there's little flaws here or there, or maybe the color is not 100% matching what it should be matching. What they really care about is connecting with your business and really knowing who you are as a person and kind of what they're supporting. I think it's time to let go of the perfectionism with social media. So resolution number 2 is letting go of perfectionism and letting the 80% rule be the thing I'm doing. So that means when something is 80% done, it's ready to ship. Don't worry about having the colors 100% accurate or there's a small little error that you wanted to Photoshop out of the post. Don't stress about it. Just post it and get it out there because your audience is waiting to hear from you, and progress is always better than perfection. In 2024, there were times when I would just look at the workload that I need to do and just feel paralyzed and wonder what I'm going to be doing next and how do I get to where I'm going. The only way I know how to get there is by small increments, and it's one task after another task that you tackle those big goals, and it's the day-to-day grind that really needs to happen, and it's the consistency you need. Part of what happened in 2024 is I had some personal things come up that kind of just required my attention, and it kind of took over for about 6 months and killed my momentum. I got out of the habit of doing those small things that needed to get done, and by the time I looked up, I was already behind in the year. And then the Canada Post strike happened and I ended up even further back. If I had been consistent prior to that, I don't think it would have hit me the way it did. And it really devastated my business towards the end of the year. I mean, it just killed my listings. The money isn't coming in the way it did in the previous year. I think it's really important to keep your focus and to always incrementally move ahead. So resolution number 3 is doing one small thing a day. I mean, this is about taking one bite of the elephant at a time, and before you know it, the whole thing's gone. I mean, it's really about driving momentum and building that consistency in your business so that by the time you've gone a year, you can look back and you've accomplished some big things that maybe you thought weren't possible when you started the year. I would really encourage you to take on the habit of doing one small thing a day. So if you want to build consistency and momentum, go in the description below and download my daily habit tracker. You'll be surprised how motivating it is filling in those little circles every day. In my ideal world, my customers would just stumble across my products and I would be able to stay in my little creative nook and corner of the world and not have to do any of this marketing thing that needs to happen. But I think we all know that's not the reality. I mean, I had tried to do some booths at some local like Christmas markets the previous year. They're expensive. They were like $200, $300 for the table, and you had to drive an hour to get there because my town I live in is too small. So it's held in the next town, which is still small, and the foot traffic's just not there. And by the time you accounted for your time, the booth fee, and the time of anybody you're bringing with you, because it's an 8-9 hour market plus the drive, it's just not worth putting the money out. And I made the decision to sell mainly online and not really sell in person anymore because it just doesn't work for me. And with that decision, you're kind of left with limited things. I have my own website and I need to start driving traffic there because other than that, I sell on Etsy. I kind of ended up in a situation where all of my listings kind of ended up being mainly on Etsy, and that's where I was doing my sales. When the Canada Post strike hit, it really devastated my Etsy listing, which is what tanked my sales for the year. So without online marketing and Etsy really being my only sale venue outside of my website, I don't have a lot of presence on the internet, and that's definitely something that is holding back my sales, which brings me to resolution number 4. My 4th resolution is all about visibility. It's about getting outside of my comfort zone and really embracing things that I don't want to do for the sake of my business. And one of those things is actually YouTube. And creating this video for you, it's not easy to sit in front of a camera and you're talking by yourself in a room with a bunch of lights on you. It is not the easiest thing to do, and it's not natural for me. So this is me stretching out of my comfort zone so that you guys get to know me and you get to know my business too, because I think it's worth knowing, and I think your business is probably worth knowing too. And I would encourage you that if you're not doing video and incorporating it into your social media, that you add a little bit in. And it could be something as simple as having some B-roll running with your voice over it. And it's about growing and expanding the opportunities that are out there for you. Remember, your story matters. There's always going to be somebody who connects with you and your journey, and don't be afraid to let them see it. If you've ever heard the saying, it's not what you know, but who you know, well, they're not wrong. And this is definitely a struggle I have in my business. Granted, I live in a small community and there's less than 5,000 people here, and the nearest town's a half an hour away, and the nearest semi-bigger town is an hour away. So there's not really a large population to kind of connect with people, but I mean, full disclosure, I'm a homebody and it's gotten worse since 2020, and I spend a lot of time by myself in my house. So my network is actually quite small, and it's been a bit of a struggle. I really want to build a business that is something phenomenal, something I never would have thought I would have had as a small kid. And part of that is getting out there and getting to know people. You'd be amazed what happens when you start networking with people and really connecting with people. One of the products I sell is my postcard calendar. It's a great little calendar. It sits in a stand and there's one illustration per month, and you can send out the postcard when you're done. There was a dental office in the States that had bought it and had it sitting on their front desk. There was a little kid sitting there and just admiring it. When they had gone to look at the calendar afterwards, they discovered there was quite a few pages missing. She had reached out to me and let me know that they were missing and asked if she could order some replacement pages. I thought the story was so charming and cute that I just sent them the calendar pages for free because it really did make my day. But without a network to engage with, these stories just don't happen. I've come to realize that building a network around my business is the key to making a lasting impact. This brings me to my fifth and final resolution, and that's about expanding my network. So I'm going to be growing my network, and that's going to be including the platforms I use and hopefully my community as well. I really want to build something that lets us have conversation like we are two friends just chatting over coffee. That's kind of my goal, is to make sure that I am reaching out and just building that base for my business. And if you've never done that before, I'm going to encourage you to do the same thing, because you never know where it's going to go, you never know where it's going to lead, and you never know what the stories are going to be. And do you know what? At the end of the day, it's a really fun journey, and I hope that you're embarking on it too. So there you have it. Those are my 5 resolutions for 2025, and I'm hoping you find some inspiration and some things that you can take away for yourself, for your own business, or the one that you want to grow in the future. It's all about learning a little bit and growing as we go, and I'm hoping you continue your journey, and we're going to continue our journey here on this channel. See you soon. Bye.